Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to the Midweek Takeaway. Today we're joined by John Regan, CEO of Electric Guitar. Welcome back, John.
Hi, Phil. How's it going?
Yeah, very good. You see you're abroad. You're obviously keeping busy. You're in Singapore, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been meeting quite a few clients. We've also got a launch event with our new partner, Digital Alchemy. We RNS'd that about a month ago now. So we've got 30 or 40 people turning up to an event on Wednesday morning. So I'll be speaking there, and we'll be using our own technology to capture their data as well, Phil.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, I mean, obviously, we just saw that the news that the company announced that its subsidiary 3 Radical has secured a new campaign with Singapore's largest media network, Mediacorp, following the success of a test run using its Voco engagement platform. The trial, which boosted web traffic and captured valuable consumer data, will now be scaled to deliver personalized experiences to a broader audience. You emphasize the strategic importance of this collaboration in expanding the company's presence in Southeast Asia and demonstrating its ability to provide effective engagement solutions. So just talk us through how this campaign works, to kind of how it will benefit Mediacorp and how it then can be applied to other clients in the future to benefit of 3 Radical.
Well, the way the campaign works is, at the moment, what Mediacorp have is a lot of content. They have online newspapers, they have radio that you can stream, podcasts, and online TV. But actually, their app is free, and it's based around advertising, and you don't have to sign into it. So what that means is often they don't know very, very much about the people consuming their product. And that makes it difficult then to personalize the product, which then makes it less attractive to people. So what we did with them in the first instance in the test was we ran something which is called 20 Days of Games, which was, as it sounded, lots of different types of games, and it appeared 3 times a day, once in the morning commute, once at lunchtime, and once in the evening commute. And this was to support one of their newspapers called Today, and so they had newspaper-like games which people could play. But they had to log in order to play the games, and also they had to provide further details in order to win a prize as well. And what they were able to do there is link all of that information together and also link that to the type of newspaper articles that people were consuming. So they got to learn a lot more about the people who were consuming. As a result of that, they also got about 20% more traffic to their website as well. So they were very happy with that. So what they've decided now to do is to roll a similar experience out, but this time across their streaming platform. So their streaming app where people are streaming podcasts and TV and that sort of thing. So again, it's going to be a similar experience for them. And what they're looking for is a 20% increase in the number of people who sign in. So based on the previous experience, we think we can be successful with that. And of course, once they're signed in and they know who they are, that's very valuable because then they can see what they're viewing, how long they're viewing it for, and make that a much more personalized and valuable experience for the user as well.
So how do 3 Radical financially benefit from that, John?
Well, 3 Radical get paid for it, of course, Kevin. Like most clients, and I think I've mentioned this before, they are very reticent about us publicising the amount that they are spending on it. But it's a reasonable amount, and we believe that this is going to be a long-term client with a long relationship because we're producing some really great results for them. And the other thing that's really good for us, of course, is this is really high profile for us. It is the biggest media owner and content provider in Singapore. Everybody here knows of that client. So it's very good to be associated with such a big brand. And I think, Phil, you asked, well, how can other clients benefit from it? And how does it benefit 3 Radical? The answer is there are now a number of publishers in the marketplace who are selling advertising, and they have a similar product problem. And the problem is that sometimes people consume content without signing in. They don't know who they are, and they don't understand what they're doing, and they don't know how to target them. What they can all benefit from is if they can incentivize people to sign in, provide value in exchange for that sign in, then they can understand more about those people, and they can make their product more valuable as well. So in this case, the value is you get to play a game and you might win a prize. But actually, there's another value as well, because then you suddenly find that because you provided your name and your details, and the content provider has understood what it is you're consuming, they can then push the right content towards you. So you find it more interesting and more engaging as well. So there's a double win if you are a user of that site.
Yeah, you referenced the test campaign as well at the beginning or in the RNS. So presumably you started with the test campaign. It was, you thought it was successful. There was obviously some feedback, and then you've now moved on to an actual campaign win. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. So they tested it because they wanted to see that it worked, and now that it has, they're broadening it out into other parts. And what we hope and what we'll continue to talk to them about is what can we do next? How can we make this work better for you? What are because nobody loses out from learning more about the people visiting your website. So it's a really good use case, and it's a really good case study for us as well, because of course we can then demonstrate to other websites which have similar content, newspaper publishers, content providers, all of those types of people. We can show them the benefits of what we do.
John, what about a YouTube channel? So you have all these big influencers, and a lot of companies have the YouTube channels. Do we, can it affect those places and get more subscribers and so on and so forth?
Well, the answer to that, Kevin, is absolutely yes. So there is a significant football influencer that we work with who has just built his own website as well. I'm not going to say his name. I know you'd love me to, but we haven't asked him, so it really would get me in trouble if I did on this occasion. But if I were to tell you that he's an influencer and he supports one of the major football teams in the UK, Premier League team, probably the biggest football brand in the world.
And he's the Manchester United guy who never used to be a Manchester United fan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin. I couldn't say anything more. But the real benefit for him is that if you think about YouTube, YouTube itself captivates its consumers. So he has a load of subscribers in YouTube, but really he can't do very much with them apart from go back to YouTube and show them his content again. And obviously he benefits from his advertising and his channel on YouTube, and it works that way. But he doesn't really know who they are at that stage. And so what it is possible to do is point them to another engaging experience where they will talk about who they are. So something football related, where you get to perhaps vote on the performance of a player or put together your fantasy team or that type of thing, where you have to register in order to do that. And it's a bit of fun, going up in halftime based on players' performance in the first half, that sort of thing. And what influencers can get from that as a result is they get the contact details and the understanding of those subscribers who are going through YouTube. So it takes them away from that YouTube environment where, they are limited in what they can do with it into another environment where they've got a lot more ownership of that. I'd like to call them almost a customer base, that set of loyal followers.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. So you can see that this could be adapted to many people and many businesses that obviously are heavily focused on YouTube, but they don't know much about their clients.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about that marketplace, the influencer marketplace, it's a very common thread that they are dependent on one particular platform, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever. And often you hear that, particularly Instagram have changed the algorithm and suddenly their followers are not seeing as much content as they were before. And they're completely exposed to that because that's their only route to the people that generate their income. So if I were an influencer, I would be very keen to make myself a bit more independent of that platform.
So what are we going to hear, hopefully, in the next number of weeks?
Well, look, what we're seeing now is when we bought 3 Radical, we knew that we needed to build the sales and marketing operation there. We knew that we needed to productize and make things easier and quicker to deliver. And that's what we've been working on since May, just 4 months, but that's what we've been working on since May. And now we're beginning to see the effects of that. We're beginning to see more businesses engage with us. We're beginning to see rollouts of campaigns because we're talking to our clients more proactively. And there's a pipeline building. So we're going to see more of the same on that side of things. We're also, of course, we've got very high hopes for the event, which is running on Wednesday with a company called Digital Alchemy at the Sofitel in central Singapore at 9:00 Singaporean time, if there's anyone from Singapore listening. So please come along if you'd like to see that. What we're talking about there is how you can benefit from using gamification, how you can engage customers, give them value, how you can learn more about them and the value of doing exactly that. We're also talking about how we're integrating that with the technologies which Digital Alchemy use as well. So anyone in that space should find that a very interesting session. We'll be there for about an hour, and I'm sure there'll be some nibbles and coffee afterwards. And also, of course, you'll get to engage with one of our bits of technology and potentially win a prize as well. So it'd be great if you can come along. But the good thing for me over that is there's 30 or 40 people there. We're going to capture their data. I'm looking forward to talking to them about what we can do to help.
You love it, don't you? You love the thought of getting the data, don't you, John? I can see that. But so that there are obviously going to be senior representatives from obviously existing clients and presumably prospective clients of both companies. So just talk us how some of those will help to kind of be almost ambassadors for both companies.
Well, I think the key thing actually is that Digital Alchemy talk to clients at a different stage of their decision-making process to us. So it's complementary. Where we're bringing our clients in, they get the opportunity to talk about the stage before what we do. But actually, for me, strategically, it's really important to be talking to people at that previous stage, because then you're much more involved in their decision-making process. You're much more involved in their budgeting. If you're central to their consideration as opposed to thought of afterwards, then you're much more sticky. And of course, also, if you're central to that, people can think more, spend more time. You're much more strategic rather than tactical. So you deliver more value to them. And that's good for everyone. We deliver more value, then we can get more and more campaigns out of the door, and we all benefit.
Yeah. Did you get any feedback on, I know you were in attendance, or not yourself, but Jeremy was in attendance at the DMEXCO in Cologne in Germany. I think that was on the 18th and 19th of September for the official launch of the Voco portal, the VSP. Was there any feedback around that event?
I've got to be honest, Phil, I was out here at the same time because I had some other client meetings. So I've spoken to Jeremy for maybe 30 seconds since he's been back, with the different time zones as well. I think he was pretty happy with it. We were certainly pretty excited to be going out there to demo that product. It was a very good demo. And just to tell you, what we were able to do as a result of that. When we started working with 3 Radical in May, typical deployment time for the Voco product as it was between 3 and sometimes up to 6 months, because it's quite complex to deploy. What we've done with the Voco VSP product, it's a self-serve portal. So there's a bit of configuration there, but then the client can do it themselves. I've seen Jeremy deploy something in 45 minutes. So it's a real sea change in the way that stuff gets deployed. And I know already we've been beta testing it with clients and talking to clients about it. And it's a really nice way to get the conversation moving on a lot more quickly than we could do before. So again, more benefits in the future for doing that.
Yeah, John, it looks like the snowball has been formed and it's starting to roll down the hill. So yeah, we look forward to hearing from you over the coming weeks and months about what else is coming, and good luck.
Yeah, well, it's over 30 degrees here at the moment, Kevin, so it's good to hear a snowball metaphor. It makes me feel a bit cooler.
Well, it's just a little under 30 degrees here, so...
And it's raining here, so you'll be glad to know that, John, being out there. So.
Looking forward to coming home.
Yeah. On that note, we'll say John Regan, CEO of Electric Guitar, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.
Yep, thank you.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.